I'll tell you a little bit what's going on with me. I got, of course, my Morphin Live filming. Going into season 4, we got season 3 filmed, about 33 episodes of that. Con TV has season 2 and season 3. We're going to view the first episode of season 3 in my Q&A tomorrow at 1. So I'm going to try to get Johnny and a bunch of the guys in there in my Q&A. And we got a pretty big thing coming with Bat and the Sun. Bat and the Sun just signed a big deal, and we just got contracts and stuff. I can't tell you what it is, but you guys will be really happy with it. It's Comic-Con related, and Aaron does awesome stuff on Bat and the Sun. So he's going to be doing a little series there. And then we're releasing my Taste Cat and Operation Black Unicorn. The reason why it took so long is just because, you know, I won't sit down. It's just because the way the film is and things have been released and all that stuff. So it's just timing and stuff. That's what's going on with me. I know you're all going to ask about the movie and all that stuff. It's really confidential, top secret stuff, and he's taking pictures of the set. So if you want to get pictures of top secret stuff, see him. So we really won't know what's going on until 2017. So I'll have to wait and see. You'll have to wait and see what happens with the movie next year. With that said, telephone calls. Go with any questions or anything like that. I hope I have the answers for you. So if you guys have any questions.
Are you gonna like
Is he in your shot first of all? Is his head in your shot?
No.
Let me scoot back just in case.
Are you gonna like show up for any of the group photos with the other Mighty Morphin Rangers?
Who's the other Mighty Morphin Rangers here?
Catherine, David, Johnny, Karen, and Steve. Yeah, she was Pink Ranger for like the last half of season 3.
I didn't know which episode, but yeah, you're right. But when you say Mighty Morphin, I think of Austin, Twee, all those guys, because that's the original for me. So when you guys have to understand, I've been through like several cast members. So when you say Mighty Morphin, I think of Twee, and I think of Austin, I think of Walter, and I think of those guys. The con does all this stuff, Charlene, so I'll have to ask the promoter. I don't set that stuff up, but I'm sure and happy you guys can come to the table. I do free pictures for a lot of people, and that might save you a little bit of money. So anyway, like we did today, Charlene. But if you want to pay and take a photo with me, I'm happy to go get a ticket. You can go pay and do that. But if you want a free one like I gave you today, I'd probably take that deal. Any other questions? Yes.
This is kind of a question about other Rangers in addition to you, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay. In like the beginning of the season of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers season, Billy and Kimberly were really close. But then when Tommy came on the scene, they practically didn't talk. From a story point, do you feel that Tommy kind of talked to Billy and said, you know, she's just not India, man, go the other way? Or do you think they were just always really good friends?
I think they were always really good friends, and they're still really good friends today. Those two are really good friends today. I mean, he spends time with her, he helps her out and stuff like that. So it's definitely a friendly thing, you know. So, but I never noticed that. So I don't know. I mean, maybe I should rewatch it or something. But I didn't know Kimberly and Billy had something going. I would have beat him up on the show if I knew that.
Oh!
Hey, welcome to Angel Grove. It's not nice all the time. Next! Another question? Nobody? Yes.
This is a really.
And then I'll grab you in front.
It's kind of like a statement, actually. I kind of feel like the UFC is afraid of you because I believe you can kick CM Punk's ass. So I just want to let you know that.
Thank you.
And I think they're afraid of that.
I appreciate it. Well, I mean, it would definitely make a good matchup, but it's going to be, after he heals, it's going to be like 2 years before he fights, and you can't do that in UFC. I mean, you know, these guys get a UFC deal and they're fighting the next month. So I don't really even know if that was like a sincere thing that he was going to do, but you know, I'm happy to watch the fight. I've done what I can to get him to fight. It would have been a great deal. The matchmaker at UFC wanted me, but Dana, you know, has his own opinions, and I'm pretty sure CM Punk has his agreement where he decides who he wants to fight, and obviously it's not going to be me. So
That would have been awesome, though.
I'm still going to go after him one day.
Heck yeah.
So one day I'm going to fight him one day, hopefully. Yes, your question.
What was it like meeting like the newer generation of Power Rangers during Super Mega Force and realize how far this franchise has come?
It was pretty overwhelming. Not just meeting that cast, because you know I went to Dino Thunder and I met the cast of the Dino Thunder, which was really cool because they grew up watching me and all that stuff. So even the Super Mega Force, those guys watched the show, and I think the only thing was like just all the Rangers, and you know, because you know obviously stunt doubles, right? Y'all know that. I don't want to make no one cry here, but all the Power Rangers and helmets, coming over the hill, and it was overloading to see that. Like I said, Mighty Morphin was only like 6 of us. So to see all the brands and years later, it's like, sometimes it's confusing, I would think, for Tommy as a character to be like, trying to catch up as Dino
It was
Thunder.
kind
Like,
of
going
weird. It's like
through,
you see everything, like you see Dino Thunder, and my woman was like, "Wait, where's Red Zero? Where's
yeah,
where's
exactly.
everybody?"
And then where's the fight scene, really? I mean, there was the Green Ranger didn't really fight all that much, but we made up with the Green Ranger versus Ryu, so we made up with that, which I think was a good makeup.
It was really good.
So I was like, and then I never said it's morphin' time in Super Mega Force, so it was kind of like they should have said that instead of just putting the helmets on. So I said it's morphin' time on Bat and the Sun. So it was all good. It all worked out for me that case, because it was good. So got a chance to do some fighting, but yeah, it's crazy to look back now and see where it's at. I just look back now at the con world and just see how crazy it is. I was there years and years and years ago. Matt knows when Comic-Cons weren't really all that crazy like they are now, So it's crazy to see a lot of people now on tour that I haven't seen in a very long time, But it's definitely growing, and the con world's growing, and the movie's even going to launch it more. And thanks to you fans that are watching it, really, I mean, it's the fans that are making stuff. So I always look at that and always thank you guys for coming in. And sorry I didn't mean to ignore y'all. I'll step back a little bit. It's always good to see the fans that embrace it so much. So like, Saban should be very thankful that they have great loyal fans like you guys, not just little kids. People to this day still think I'm gonna have like, oh, Power Rangers, we'll get a bunch of little kids together. I'm like, it's not just kids, my fan base is. They don't understand. They think they're gonna open the door and see a karate class with a bunch of little kids. That's why I told Wizard World, you might want to stop promoting to the kids, because I got this group that are doing karate classes. And they're like, oh, not just little kids. I mean, we got little kids from Dino Thunder, but it's really this age group that makes the kids watch the show. And even after the movie, they're gonna go back to the originals and stuff like that. So, but as a cast member, to see different casts change all the time was, kind of hard. It was just different, the different ways of shooting it and different things, and people just leave and not get noticed, and it was hard, and it's stunt doubles wearing different color shirts, so it was really, really difficult to shoot that. So, but we did it, and Turbo came along, and it was just that point where I just decided I was, past the spandex, flip the coin, give it to them, and let the new generation go on, So, but it's great. It's good to see Blake grown up now, all hairy and big, just being a little kid, So it's crazy. But yes.
Hey Jason, I just wanted to ask, when will you start picking ambassadors internationally, like in Asia or Philippines?
Yeah, Francis, we're just be doing the international ones. You can get with Francis, and we'd be happy to add you on there.
All right. Philippines, I'll
Yeah.
be the best in the Philippines.
Thank you guys. And just so you know, like any ambassadors or anything like that, it's just promoting the brand, not necessarily me. There's a lot of other stuff out there that you have to be like this team, that team, this team. We're all one big team. So you can promote the brand in general. That's kind of what I do, It's just go out there. Of course, I'm JDF, and you're on my Instagram and Facebook. And if you don't like it, unfollow me. It's that simple. People complain. It's like, dude, this is how you make friends now. Done. You're gone. You know what I mean? It's like social media. So the drama people that come on pages that are like, are just like, this is a page for positivity and a page where we all just get together and we can get to, and talk about the positive stuff, So there's stuff everywhere. You can go and see drama here and drama there on almost every celebrity's page, but at least when it comes to my page, I try to keep it clean for the kids too. I'm not posting, I don't drink or anything like that, but I don't post inappropriate pictures. And if I post anything with CM Punk, everyone attacks me for posting it because they're calling me a bully, so like I just take that down. Unfortunately, it has to be a neutral thing, like who do you want for president? Zordon.
Yeah.
Both. What's your favorite football team? This team or that team? I like football. Without like getting anyone all crazy about it, So anyway, that's kind of my page, neutral page. So you're not gonna get no politics or anything like that. So if you're looking for that, I don't know. Larry King. Any other questions you guys have? Yes.
I do got one.
Question, okay?
I do got one question.
Yes.
Do you wish that you could go on Dino Charge set and come back as Dr. Oliver, using your prehistoric knowledge, you know, to help out the Rangers from them?
Yeah, I mean, you know, Power Ranger, I've always been a big brand ambassador for years and years. That's like why now when Saban has all this stuff going on, they trust me because I've been there before the reboot. I've been to conventions before the money came around. I've been there. Like, I do this stuff for fun. You know what I mean? Like, it's true. I don't take appearance fees at these shows. If you want to buy stuff, you can. If you don't, I don't really care. I'm here to please my fans. I don't have contracts. I don't sign contracts. But they know when I say I'm going to be there, through sickness or anything else, I'm going to be there. As you can see in the episode of Lexington 3 years ago, it was like, I got to be there. And it's not necessarily, don't take this wrong, it's really for like little kids that might not understand why I'm not there. You guys might still be mad about it, but it's like, hey, I'm sick or I have a obligation to my little girl. It just comes down to him to say, well, I don't understand what that means. Like, kids really don't understand what responsibility is yet, and they're still learning this stuff. So that's the reason why, is I can't just let people down. And so I try the hardest I can to make everything. And I have a pretty good reputation of treating fans great, taking time, shaking hands, taking pictures, spending time with them. And I hold myself up, I hold it at a high standard. So when I get tired or in a bad mood, I have to lift myself up. That's the way I can keep myself balanced. So anything with Power Rangers is a good thing. I just couldn't be another color because that'd be too many Rangers.
Well, I'm not talking about like as,
Yeah,
being
it's
another Ranger, but like as,
that,
as
yeah.
just Dr. Oliver
Yeah,
or
I think
something.
Dino charges over though, filming, I think they already charged us filmed it. But yeah, man, I'm always down to do stuff. So my point is with Saban, like I have a great relationship with them, and I only want to do Saban approved stuff. Before the movie came around, everyone did fan movies, and everyone did this, and everyone did that. I was like, if it's not Saban approved, I can't do it. Oh, you don't like the fan films. I was offered that fan film, the rated R one. He called me and he said, you know, I do the dirty laundry Punisher stuff. I want to make it dark, gritty, Power Rangers. I want drugs. I want blood. I said, cool. I'll talk to you later. I told my agent, I don't want nothing to do with that. And everyone was like, don't you wish you were in the movie? I said, no, not really, because that stuff doesn't belong in the Power Ranger franchise. Because we still have kids watching it, and the show has never gone off the air. If the show disappeared and he did not know what Power Rangers was, it's okay to reboot it into a rated R thing. You know, look at Deadpool. I mean, a lot of little kids want to watch Deadpool. It ain't a kid-friendly movie, that's for sure. You know, Deadpool's Deadpool. I don't even know how he's enjoying the cast of X-Men. He needs to clean up his mouth a little bit. He's cool. For us, it's like Deadpool's cool, and a lot of people like the reboot, you know, fan film and all that stuff, but I was always Saban approved. Even with the Green Ranger versus Ryu, we could have done it, but I called Saban and said, hey, is it okay if I do this? And they said, yeah. I just don't, you know, those guys created Power Rangers. And when Disney had it, the franchise went down, the ratings went down. They called me to bring the ratings up on Dino Thunder. Ratings went up a little bit, then Disney kind of just pushed it to the side. And then Saban bought it back for a fraction of what he sold it for, and then rebranded it because he knows what they want. This is like, Power Rangers is like Starbucks talk. If you go to Starbucks and order coffee, good luck. It's like, I'll take a small. You mean a tall? It's like, no, I want a small. The tall is a small. Why do you have to say tall is small? I don't understand that kind of stuff, you know? Like Tammy said, get a coffee. I'm like, let's go to Waterburg and get a coffee. No, I need Starbucks. I mean, vanilla latte, no foam, extra whip, extra squirt. It's just crazy. So Power Rangers is like that. When you give a studio a movie, you got to make sure that they understand what Power Rangers is. You know, so movie producers have to research things and hopefully can translate that. And re-envision movies are always hard to do because we're judging. For him, it's okay to like it. It's like, oh, cool. You know, Power Ranger first movie had all this digital stuff, and I was like, eh. I mean, Power Rangers hasn't changed because it still looks as crazy and cheesy as it did back in the days. The monsters are, you know, it's got that look to it, and I like that it hasn't changed too much, you know. So, to answer your question, I'm happy to do anything with Saban as long as it fits the story. You know, I'm not one to push myself like, there's use me, and if it fits the franchise, great. If it can benefit you guys and make you happy, great. If it doesn't, I just don't want to force myself in there. You know, I do this stuff for fun. Like, I'm very passionate about what I am. I've always been the man behind the helmet for 20 years. Not 5 years ago, not 3 years ago. I've been that guy that gone through the trenches and gutters and tried to bring up that franchise. And people said, well, Power Rangers, that's done and over with. You're doing Dino Thunder, ha ha ha, look at you. Oh, you're going back to Super League. Oh, movie. Oh, wow. You know, everyone starts freaking out again. It's like, I've been there. So I've been there from the beginning because why? I believe in stuff. And I believe that Power Rangers, you know, can live forever. I feel like I'm the Captain Kirk of like Star Trek. I do. Like, there's only one, one Captain Kirk. That's it. Like, when I see movies, I think of Shatner. I don't think of other people. That's for my generation, you know. But anyway. Oh, yeah, your question. What's it?
Out of all your seasons of Power Rangers, which one do you would like best?
Which one I like best? I think just because the first season, the very original season, like I was happy with. You know, I was happy with Tommy being Tommy alone and just being that guy, you know, so I could relate to other people that, hey, if you're alone in school and you're a new kid and you're this, so that's kind of how I was in school. I like that idea of it. You know, the idea of me being a leader, it just fit. I didn't want to take responsibility for all their actions. I like Tommy for being the guy to save people and all that stuff. So I like the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and I like that. When I stepped up to be the leader, it wasn't forced that it just, the universe made that happen. If you're a leader in life, you're going to lead. If you're not a leader, you're not going to lead. You walk into a room and people know that guy's in charge. You walk into a karate school and you go, that guy's in charge. So when I was a leader, it changed a little bit, but I would probably think the very first season. I thought the characters were cool and, you know, had everything, and then things started changing. You know? It related to everybody, I thought. You know?
Less of a question, more of a comment. But everything you were saying about keeping it family friendly, I really appreciate that, because he really wasn't introduced to Power Rangers till it was on Netflix. So in the last year, that's all he does.
Netflix really helped out the brand a lot, man. It started changing a little bit.
It's good
VHS.
opportunity.
Yeah, it's good, man. And it's important. I just think it's important, you know, that and when I try to say this, and I don't say it in a bad way, when I say someone does something bad, and I say it's bad for the brand, and everyone jumps my butt about it because all you care about is the brand, and money has nothing to do with brand and money. Any Ranger that does something bad reflects the whole Power Ranger universe. So when I say it's bad for the brand, this is the brand. You know what I mean? They can't separate sometimes. So YouTube and Google is the most powerful thing. All a little kid needs to do is go Power Rangers, then this article pops up of something bad that happens. That's the reason why I just really protected over the brand. You know, it wasn't nothing to do with toys, and money had to do with the next generation, you know. Unfortunately, we all make decisions and things happen, and we all can't be perfect, but I try to make sure I give the fans what they want to see as a superhero, you know. And that keeps, you guys keep me accountable for what I do too. You guys keep me accountable, not wanting to be out of shape and not drinking and doing this and doing that. It's like I'm a superhero. I put that in my head, because if I can put that in my head, I'm going to live a straight life. You know what I mean? Like, when God changes you, it's not, you don't get just changed overnight. It's a transformation that you know someone and say, hey dude, I knew you 5 years ago. You ain't that same guy, because something's changing and change starts happening. You start transforming. And I'm sure you guys can all say, I wasn't what I was 2 years ago, or maybe I'm a lot worse than I was 2 years ago. It can work in reverse, you know? So I like to see good positive changes. In fact, when someone said I did something good for someone, I almost forgot. I was like, I don't remember a skydiver friend, and then do Power Rangers. I was like, I don't remember saying it, so I had to go back. I thought maybe I'm just getting old, like my mind's old or whatever. Then I came to this conclusion that you in life, that's us. We should not keep track of the good things that we've done. You should do so many good things that you can't remember. You might remember the bad things and go, yeah, I remember you from this show. I remember you, because the good's going to outweigh the bad. So you can remember 10 bad things that people happen. Of course, let it go, but it's going to be stored in your memory, no matter what. Something will trigger it, a song. Power Rangers triggers you being a youth again. You know, Power Rangers, you see them, like I used to come running home from school, Comic-Con, superhero world, you know what I mean? So we should do good things for people. And it makes me kind of like, sometimes I post something about like pushing a car, and people are like, you're not supposed to post your good deeds. I do lots of good deeds. Jenna sees me giving people in New York City, help the homeless. I know helped it, like by the time I got to the end of the street, I'm gonna be homeless and broke because I help so many people. You know what I mean? But like I help people, and Jenna sees that stuff. So the reason why I post something like that is not to make me look good, is to post those 200 or 300 people that passed me in the car, that didn't know who I was, that made me push a car up the hill by myself to get this car out of traffic and put myself in that situation. I posted that to say, hey, next time you see a guy pushing a car, it could be the Green Ranger, help him. You know, if they drove by and was like, Green Ranger's pushing a car, I want to help them. Hey, how's it going? It has no point if who you know who I am to help me stop the car. It has to point with how you treat people in just real life if you don't know how they are, who they are. And that's what I love. Like, I go to a convention and I'll dress like this, and I'll go and I'll touch something, and people jump, don't touch that saber sword. You can't do this, you can't do that. And I'll look up, I'm like, okay. Oh, cool. Oh, no, it's JDF. You can know it's cool. I got it. I was treated that way. And through my whole life, I was always treated like special. Like, you know, at Best Buy, they would come up and be like, oh, I'm gonna hook you up with like 3 TVs and I'm free this and free that. And I was like, I don't really need free stuff. Like, you should help this family that needs free stuff. I never understood when you're like rich and famous why someone wants to buy you a coffee. You tell the rich guy buy you a coffee. Hey man, buy me a coffee. You know, and it's that mentality of like, you just gotta help people regardless of who they are. And every connection I've ever had, every interview, I don't know who's who and where's the video is gonna go, but everything is treated equally. I will treat, hey! I know, I haven't seen him in a while, let me say something.
Black t-shirt.
He thinks I'm a crazy fan chasing me. And we've done a lot of shows together. But, you know, that's my point. And for your child, is you got to remember that you just got to help people regardless of what they look like, who they are, and what you can benefit from. Because that's not something you should do, is help someone and think, what can you do for me? Just help me. World comes around, it's a small place. If you do good things for people, good things happen to you. And when bad things happen, good things will happen. You just got to stay strong. You know what I mean? And I'm only reminding you because I'm reminding myself, because I have bad days. Today's a really stressful day for me, and you probably don't even know that. But like when I'm getting more inspiration and motivation, it's those reminders that help me. You know, and you guys changed my outlook. I wasn't in a bad mood. I got a lot of personal things going on, but this changes me. You might not see it, and I don't bury it as I share it. This is group therapy for me. It is. When you have an issue or a problem, they send you a group therapy. It's the first thing they do, and you're like, I don't want to talk to a group. No, you want to talk to a group that understands your problems. Well, we're all here for the Power Ranger world, and I think we can all understand that we have issues. I do. Everyone does. But it's a transformation of getting things better. Looking at it, you know. And if you don't think you have issues, you do.
It's like vice versa, inspiration.
Yeah, yeah. You know, so I try to share with you so I can remind myself. Every time I say brotherhood, dedication, respect, cooperation, discipline, confidence, attitude, self-respect, it's all registered in my head what I need to do as a master instructor. So when I share things or when I work out with people, I tell them that I can tell Tammy, I'm going to go out there and just be myself and work out. Everyone can follow me. You going to teach class? I'm like, everyone can follow me. I teach, I work out, and I'm really there for myself. And I got 50 people follow my workout. In the end of class, they're like, Matt knows you train with me. On the end of class, well, that was great. And I'm like thinking, cool, I just did it for myself because I wanted to work out, and you all followed along. It's better that way, you know, because I want to have fun. Because if I'm teaching, I'm going to get burned out. If I'm doing Comic-Cons, I'm going to get burned out. If I can express myself, I won't get burned out. If I just answer questions all day, I'll get burnt out. The white, the green, this, that. So I try to share more inspirational stuff that can change your life. Not maybe your life, but maybe this kid's life that he can. What's your first name? Hayden. I don't want to say kid. But Hayden, you know, and things like that, and things we can pass on. And I really think that's what Power Rangers show is all about, is helping other people. You know, sometimes people are like, oh, that's crazy, Comic-Cons, and all these people think, you know, a TV show can change your life. That's all I hear all the time, and I love it. And how could you not think Power Rangers can change your life? But then you can silly say, well, this song changed my life. Well, how come a song changed your life? All you can do is hear. Why not hear and watch, and that can change your life? People don't get it. You know, so it brings us back to that being a kid again. You know, and so like I like to be that guy where you can meet me and say, hey, I've met a lot of my stars before. I'm so disappointed. I wish I never met them. So disappointed. Ask for a picture, no. Ask for this, no. I'm so disappointed. But there's a lot of people I see too that I'm not even fans of, like Robin, great guy, plays the Penguin on the Gotham. Never seen Gotham at all. He came up to me just like the Penguin, just kind of like weird, like. And I like to say that I'm a big fan. He had the black hair, and he must have been filming, and I was like, and literally I was like, who's that dude, man? Like, you know, and he's like, oh, what's his name? And he plays the Penguin. I've never seen the show. And afterwards, I was like, I'm gonna see the show because of him. And now I love Gotham. I watch it all the time. I just watched the other episode on the way here to the airplane. So you can make new fans. People that don't know me when I go to places or costume contests, you can always make new fans and new friends. You just gotta decide who you're gonna pick and who you wanna hang around. Remember, my dad told me you are who you hang around. If you want to be successful, you want to be a good kid, you got to hang around good people. If you want to be bad and you want to do this, then you have bad friends. So when my dad told me that, it was great. I just don't like the attitude of actors, so I didn't really hang with actors. Maybe I would be doing more if I did. I just feel like a lot of actors feel the fans owe them, and I just think it's reversed. I think they owe the fans because the fans made them who they are, but sometimes they don't get that. That's why they sit at a table with like hardly any people, is because they're not out there like, boom, like big celebrities. I'm not talking about any range, I'm talking big celebrities sit there and wonder, how you got that line, and I've got this TV show, and I'm doing this show and that show, and I'm thinking if I had your career, I'd have like triple the line. Because I feel that you feed people's emotional bank account with little things that you can do. You know, like the spouse or a friend, you have to like feed their bank account, because if you just take, it's gonna bounce. No one's gonna give you no more. And we all have those people that take, right? Take, you gotta give a little. So they need to like deposit in your emotional bank account. Because I know my fans will say, hey, if I wanna do this, do that, they would call, they would support it, they would watch it. So what happened to Lionsgate when they were doing the movie, I had the legal department called and said, hey, you gotta tell your fans to chill. Don't ask us if you're gonna be in the movie, because we can't do business. The phones have been lit up for 2 days. Every fan is so aggressively calling. This guy's like, I called 16 times. When you take that by, you know, a couple 100,000 people, they can't do business. But that showed that my fans care about me. And all I simply had to do is post and say, hey, we'll just leave them alone. Let Destiny choose. And then they stop. You know, so I feel like that I have, you know, friends on Instagram. I know everybody. I see people's faces. I know the things you post. You know, I float around and I look. Because I want to make sure if you come to a convention, and I want to make sure you know if your mom's sick, like my mom's sick, or, you know, if I told someone online, hey, you know, my mom has cancer, she really looked up to you as a kid and this and that, I would expect my celebrity to kind of remember that. And it would be shallow of me to have an admin answer, oh, I hope your mom does better, because I want that information to come to me, in my heart, not anyone else. So it's very draining sometimes. And I just do social media all the time. And I can't reach everyone, but I do the best I can, you know? So I remember probably Instagram handler's name. Well, I know, but more than anything, because I just see Instagram handler's name. So they're like, do a shout out. I'm thinking, okay, so what's your name, man? Because I just know you as like @2XYZ, whatever, you know? So, but anyway. You have any other questions?
First, James Marsters says hello.
James?
Yeah.
That's who I was trying to get out there.
Oh.
That's who opened the door, yeah. Yeah, James always told me, if you ever know, he always wears black. You ever notice sometimes? Plain shirts. He told me he does so many shows that it's just so much easier. Because I said, man, I can't find outfits anymore. Like, I wear this jacket and I can't wear that jacket. He's like, Jason, black. So he's wearing a black shirt. So I want to tell him, James, black shirt. So I'll see him in a little bit. I think he's next door.
Question was, I was watching and they said on Mighty Morphin you come to the show earlier than anyone else, and you always wanted to do your own stunts.
Oh, yeah.
And you begged.
Yeah.
Was there any stunt that you did that you wished, oh, I shouldn't have done that?
Man, I think I was like that I'm just like that in life. You know, like when when it was filming, I wanted to learn everything I could about like the films and the lighting, and you know, I felt in movies you have like, I don't know, but they're called stand-ins, where you have a movie, like, you know, the actor will stand on the line, and you stand there, and then we all talk, and we all cause trouble, and they're like, don't move your mark, we're setting lights. So they set lights to make sure you have, you know, good lighting, and it'll just take like 20 minutes, so we just stand there, and after a while, they're probably tired of us always joking around and stuff like that. But in the movie, we had stand-ins, and I remember standing in my line, and it was like, stand-ins, and I was like, I just felt like, man. And they're like, no, that's normal, I have to stand in. I'm like, man, I just don't like standing in my spot. Like, I want to do the work. I feel lazy about it. So everything I've done on Power Rangers was like that. Every stunt I wanted to do, everything. And I will tell you one thing now that it rings a bell. The Turbo movie, the rapids, the scene where we're going down the rapids, and me and Catherine fall, and there's on the back of the movie, it shows a flame torch burning something, and everyone's saying, we don't know what that is because it's not in the movie. But we torched an alligator, and they probably just cut it. The alligator was eating, we're like, just lit this alligator on fire. So now I know why it was cut from the movie. But probably scared like little kids would be like little frogs around the town and stuff. But I did the rapids, and I was like, no, I got this, man. It was freezing cold. The stunt guy's like, well, you know, that's what I'm here for. I'm like, dude, I got it. Like, no problem. I want to work. They're like, well, you can sit in they had hot tubs, like hot tubs standing by. It was that cold, so the actors would sit in the hot tubs, go in the water, freeze, do your line, get back into the hot tub and warm up. So it was that thing. So they're like, you can just sit in the hot tub and watch the guys. I got it. So I was out there forever in the water, and I was thinking, man, he's all sitting in the hot tub. That's like, you know, that could be me. But I'm like, okay, forget it. I'll do the stunt. And then I kept looking at him, and he's in the hot tub. I'm like, dang, he got paid for that. Like, I'm doing his work. I begged for it. You know what I mean? So I was like, okay. So through the rapids, like the guy's like, have you ever been in the rapids before? I said, no. He's like, well, you got to make sure you keep your hands, your feet in, because there's little rocks underneath, and you get sucked under the water, and then your hand can get caught in a rock, and you could drown. He's probably trying to scare me just because his guy's not working, but he's getting paid anyway, and I'm doing his work. So I go into the rapids. He's like, all right, director's like, here's what we're gonna do. You're gonna go in the water. You're gonna float down there. We're gonna have to throw you a safety line, which is a little line. We're gonna throw it across the water, and I want you to grab that line so we can pull you out. If not, you're gonna float down. We can't get to you. And I was like, oh, this is like complex. So I just went in the water, and I was like, ooh, like under the water, and then I just popped up, and then I remember popping up, just grabbing the safety line. And the director came out, he goes, dude, and then Stunk Guy was like, that was great, man. You hit every spot you needed to hit. Your head came out where the director wanted you to get the shot, your head went under. It was just all luck, man. I was just like, yeah, cool, thanks. But I was thinking, oh, that could have been really bad and gone wrong, you know? But I remember sitting in the water forever, setting the shot, looking, and seeing the guy in the hot tub. But I was always like that all the time. I'd show up early. My call time was the earliest. It was like early before Amy, because they had to like flat iron my hair because it was super curly. That's why in Turbo I have curly hair, because I don't want to wake up at 4 in the morning no more. Just let my hair go nappy, I don't care. So that's why Turbo was really curly, and the other ones were straight, but I'd get in so early to the point where I said, I can't come in before Amy, like 4 in the morning. So I just let my hair go. But I was always there early, setting lights and learning, because I think that's what you should do, take advantage, you know. So people in karate class, if I sit a kid down because he's not listening, I might sit him down and say, hey, you need to behave and watch, and parents will come and be like, my kid sat for 45 minutes. Yeah, that's about the best seat in the house. Do you know why? The kid needs to learn to pay attention, but on top of that, you could learn so much by sitting and watching, studying fighters, seeing what their moves are. This is a lesson for your child to focus in school and to listen to the teacher. And if he's not here, he's not at school. So they're like, oh, okay, I get it, you know. So anyway, just a thought. Rapids. Any other question back there? You guys, that table's been quiet. You guys are down points.
I have one, but I didn't want to kill the vibe. There's like really good stories coming out.
Yeah.
I think for a lot of us growing up watching Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, that like Amy Jo Johnson was our first like crush.
Yeah.
I was just curious who your first celebrity crush was.
That's a good one. No one's ever asked me that. Well, I had, you know, Farrah Fawcett was at the time. The Bionic woman or whatever. What's that girl's name?
Oh,
I saw her at a show, and she's like old Daisy Duke, you know, from Dukes of Hazzard. I saw her at a show too. She's like super old and stuff, but like as a kid, like I'm like, yeah, she's still cute, you know, but she's like old, but that's just in my head. Like she still looks like Daisy Dukes, you know. Even that girl in Daisy Dukes, you know, the short shorts. And Farrah Fawcett and all that stuff, but when I see him and meet him, because I do get a chance to meet him, I get like real quiet. Or, you know, I used to watch Chips, and I did a panel with Larry, who was like on Chips, and Eric Estrada. Like I met him 20 years ago, and he remembers me. He's like, he's like, you were good to my son on set. And I'm like, yeah, I got a Polaroid picture of you. And I had a pager at the time, and I remember belt was real high. And I said, I didn't think you remember me. Of course I remember you. You took care of my son. Let me introduce you to him. And I'm like, he's all grown up now, you know, but he remembered it as a kid. Dude, I met you on set. You took me around, and I didn't think Eric would even remember. So when I'm doing shows with those guys, I kind of like text my mom, like, hey mom, I'm in the car with like this dude, you know, like, hey, I get to see this guy, my favorite show, Dukes of Hazzard, and then I just play it on the down low. What do you do? No, I'm just kidding. I said that. But yeah, it just brings back your childhood. And I think, you know, with people, like current shows that they have now, the draws aren't that big with current shows they have. And the only reason is why is because you grew up with this. So it scarred your heart of your first crush, the first love story, like you remember it. You know, you can see a love story now on TV, you see them all the time. You're not gonna be like, I remember it. So being a kid growing up, I think that's why the popularity of the show is that, you know, you grew up with it. Like I grew up with Chips, and I grew up with Dukes of Hazzard, and, you know, and I would see them at a show, but I might not see the new guy from this new TV show that we're watching, because I'd rather see the guy I grew up with. It's kind of weird, but I get it. Matt, you have a question?
Yes, sir. I know how busy you are. Any chance we could have another boot camp sometime?
I'd really like to do a boot camp.
I miss
I really want to. I know. I really want to. We just do boot camps like training. We do like a whole weekend. We'll train like all day Saturday. We'll end it like on a skydive if the weather's good, stuff like that. So it's a lot of fun. I do want to get back to boot camps. You know, my whole life has changed in perspective since my mom got sick and stuff like that, and friends are just turning on you. Your whole life starts changing. You start balancing what's important to you, the hobbies that you like, and the things that you do. You can't stop that because it'll just go crazy. If you had no hobbies and you work all the time, it's just what's there to life? Just hustling, waking up, Groundhog's Day, you know? So follow your, I love karate, I miss it, I miss teaching. Those boot camps for me wasn't work, it was just fun.
I
It's
saw
like, follow me,
everybody.
you know, the whole time training and stuff like that.
It's
When I broke my
that's
foot,
ever.
that bothered me a little bit when I had that broken foot. I broke it on season 2, base jumping. That's what you get for jumping a bridge. Never jumped a bridge with me. I was like, but that frustrated me because that was like a year and a half and stuff like that. But I did the Green Ranger beat down with the broken foot, and then I shared a story the other day when I got the audition role. It was called Phantoms. It was a script for Power Rangers. I ran next door to get my fax paper because they have a fax machine. You probably don't know what that is, but you send the paper on one side, the paper comes out on the other side. It's kind of like an email, but it's slow. So I had to get the fax machine, and I ran next door, and it was raining, and I slipped, and I broke the side of my foot. Like I cracked the side of my foot, and I totally forgot the story. And when I was thinking, and I went to the doctor's across the street, and he's like, "We're gonna have to put that in a cast." And I'm like, "I'm not putting it in a cast. I have an audition. Like, I have an audition for this show called Phantoms, which is Power Rangers." So he's like, 10 years from now, your foot's gonna hurt. And I was thinking, 10 years from now, I don't care, man. I'm old. I'm probably gonna die 10 years from now. I'm like, I'll be 20, 29. You know, I was thinking that was super old, you know, when I was like 18 or 19. But every time I snowboard or something, I think of that doctor saying that. But it was funny because when the show, I had that broken foot, and I did Power Rangers too, and I healed a lot faster then. I wish I had the Wolverine power, you know? I heal. That's what I don't understand. You know the video games? You know the video games? You know the video games? You like the X-Men video games? I just always want to be Wolverine, because why would you have to put a quarter in the machine if you can't die? You know what I mean? That's why I want to be Wolverine. Like, it should just, you shouldn't have to put a quarter in it. Wolverine dies, then you can keep playing the video game. The other guys, you can like put quarters in it, but that's why I would like to play Wolverine. A video game that you can never die. You'll never have to put a quarter in it. You probably don't know those video games, do you? Put quarters in video games. Hey, when I was your age, I used to have to get up and change the channel. You know what that feels like, getting up and changing the channel? It's not as easy like this. Dude, life right now is going to be a little bit easier for you. You know, it is. But, oh my gosh, the social media is taking over nowadays. Like, Jen's in the car and she'll send me a text, and I'm sending a text, and Tammy's like, "Can you all talk to each other?" I'm like, "It's just so much easier." Like, she's just right in the back seat. I'm like, "Hey, you better listen to your mom," or "Hey, where are we going? We want to go for dinner." It's just weird. Tammy's like, "Stop." So I'm like, "Jenna, put your phone down," because if not, we'll just text each other, little kisses, little stupid stuff, you know. But I think it's so much easier to express yourself on a text than it is to actually talk to someone in real life. You get real brave. That's why I say keyboard warriors. Like, you can do this. You see them in real life. It's like, it's like, what happened, man? You send all these texts, you send me emails, you know? It is easier just to get to the point where you don't have to get stuck on the phone with someone. Like, send me a text, just get to the point. What do you want for dinner? It's great to see you. I miss you too. We have to get together. Cool. But I'm like that, and I handle business like that. I know, get out of here. I handle business like that and just other stuff, but it's just easier for me. So sometimes I'll float around on Instagram and I'll say something to someone. I don't have the notifications going, or it'll drive me crazy, so I'll have to remember. If I said something to you, I'll have to remember, oh, I don't know what Matt said. You know what I mean? So, but anyway, guys, tomorrow, is anyone here tomorrow?
Yeah.
Can everyone please remain seated, please?
I have the Q&A at 1 o'clock tomorrow. And let's do a panoramic shot. So I can post it. I'm gonna sit right here. Just smile. We'll be able to see you in the camera.
And by the way, I think you were looking for Catherine Bach. The one that plays AC Duke and Dukes Hazzard, Catherine Bach.
Yeah. There was another one, like, I forgot which TV show, but every time she sees me, she's like, "Hi." I like turn to a kid all over again. I want to say, "Stranger danger," but I don't.